listening to Downworlder Dish, a Shadowhunter Chronicles podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 35, where we will be discussing Chapter 18 in City of Ashes, Darkness Visible. I'm Kristen.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Amanda.
Alrighty. Awesome.
Well, I do have a quick story that I can share.
Tell us.
So, I was at the park with my son, who is 18 months old, as you guys know. Anyway, I recently was at a family thing and had a family friend telling me I'm a helicopter mom. Blah, 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 helicopter mom. And I'm like, he's a fucking year old. Leave me alone. Anyway.
Did you kick him in the balls?
Basically.
Okay.
So anyway, I was giving Lincoln a little bit of space while we were at the park and we were walking around. He was probably like 5 feet ahead of me, something like that. So we're walking around at this park that's completely fenced in. It's an elementary school. And it is right next door to a firehouse station, whatever. And so by the fire station, there's like a gate that opens. I'm assuming it's easy access or something to the firehouse, even though it's kind of up a hill. Either way, I don't know. There was a gate there. And it was chained, shut with like huge chains on it. But there was still like a 4-inch opening or whatever because they weren't right next to each other. So Lincoln's like playing with the fence, whatever. Like he does at home with the cupboards and stuff. And then all of a sudden he sneaks through the fence.
Shit.
And there's no way for me to get like to him immediately. I would have to run super far back to get out of this fence and go all the way down around towards the other fence. It was just I was so incredibly terrified. I was like almost in tears. I'm screaming at him to get over to me. And he's just like, he just thinks it's the funniest shit in the world. Because I'm like, come here. And he's just like, eh. And then he'd get really close to me to where I could almost reach him. And then he'd be like, nope, sorry.
Oh my God.
Oh, I was so afraid. And finally he got close enough to me to where I pulled him through, and he cried because I pulled him through so fast that I hurt his little noggin, but I don't care. And then this lady finally, and the park was like, there were people running the track and stuff, which we were right next to.
Yeah.
Tons of people walking by. They're not going to be able to do anything, but I just couldn't believe no one stopped to even ask if I could, like, I could have run around and they could have stayed right there, or they could have run around for me. I don't know. Somebody could have helped me if I needed it, and no one really was paying attention. I'm literally screaming at him, and it was just insane. So I pull him through, and this lady stops, and she's like, oh my God, that was terrifying. So I don't know how long she was standing there.
She's just standing there
she had
watching.
Walked up and saw it. I don't know. But it was one of the most terrifying things that's happened to me as a parent. It was just, and he was in nothing happened. He didn't get more than like 10 feet away from me.
Right.
But it was still like anything could have happened because it was on a pretty busy road.
Right.
So anyway, it was very scary. And it's just crazy to think that people, like, no one was doing anything.
Yeah.
Sad. I don't know what I would have done if I would have offered to help, but I don't know. My husband was supposed to meet me there too, and he was running late at work, so he couldn't have been there. Like, my husband, you guys know his freaking name is Andy. Anyway, so he got there like 10 minutes later, so it was just crazy timing. Yeah, but anyway,
that's terrifying.
That happened to me, and I'm still reliving it and feeling like, ugh. So helicopter all I want, okay? I'm going to be right there, right above him.
We've had
one of those with each of my kids. I think everybody's had one. That even now, sometimes I think about it and it just really makes my stomach turn. It's crazy.
When Bryn was 2, she locked me on the back balcony in our apartment.
Oh my gosh.
And we were on the second floor, so I couldn't get down. And and she was standing on the other side of the door, like the sliding glass door, bawling.
Oh, of course she was.
Because she didn't know how she locked the door. And I'm like, push it up. And like, I didn't have my phone with me. It was a nightmare.
Gosh.
It was not the first and only time she's done that.
She does it now.
She does it now because she's a bitch.
Yeah.
But because she's a teenager and she thinks it's funny. But then when I look at her, she's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm scared now.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
Adriana picked up a knife off the table that my mom left. Because she thought she put it far enough out of reach, and it was like,
oh God, you forget how tall they are sometimes.
It was like an 8-inch, like a knife, and she cut her whole palm down on both of her hands, which means it hurt her, and she dropped it, and she went to grab it with her other hand. So we were inside cooking, and she walks up to the because we had the screen open,
okay,
just blood coming off of her, and she was like maybe Lincoln's age.
Oh my god.
Like very, very young. And the only thing in my head I kept imagining is what if she was holding and she fell and like stabbed herself in the neck or like something. And I was so upset. Like I was white. Like I couldn't.
Well, especially your kid with that much blood. That's just, oh my gosh.
Well, and we didn't know where it was coming from. It was just all over her. And my mom was, I'm really, okay. I wouldn't have known what to do. Like, she was like, I was like, I can't stop. She's like, well, she's fine. Quit dreading on it, whatever.
Right.
She helped me wash her hands and get Band-Aids and stuff. I was very glad she was there.
Yeah.
To help me, like, because obviously my husband was just as upset as I was. Of course. Yeah. So I'm very glad that she was with us.
Oh my gosh.
And then for William, we were at, it was another park story. My daughter and I pulled up at the park to meet Omar and William there. Did I say Lincoln?
No.
I feel like I said Lincoln.
No.
Okay, anyway. William is up at the top of this play structure. Like, and it's tall because it's at a elementary school. Mm-hmm. And it's like probably 10 feet high. Like, it's almost double Omar's height. And I pulled up like a dummy because I was trying to be funny, like with the music really loud or whatever. And so we pull up and Omar looks at me and he falls. Like free falls off the top. And I was so far away. There was nothing I could have done.
Right.
I couldn't get to him. I couldn't get there in time. Like my heart literally fell to the floor. And the truck was still on.
Oh god.
And I just ran towards him. And thankfully Omar had dad skills with the Z and caught him right before he hit the ground.
Oh my god.
Like he still fell a little bit, but he broke his fall because he like swooped up and was able to grab him. It was just crazy. It was terrifying.
God. Kids.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But like, see, things like that is why I'm a helicopter mom, and I don't care.
Yep.
You know what? My kid is almost 13, and she thinks I'm the coolest thing since freaking sliced bread.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm okay with it.
Boomer over here.
Boomer.
I'm like,
great.
you know what? It's fine. Like, she has her friends and like she has her own freedom and stuff. But yeah, I'm still a helicopter mom. I want to know where she is, what she's doing, who she's talking to on the phone. Yeah, I'm overprotective. And guess what? My kid is fucking well adjusted and totally fine. So
what do you say?
Suck it.
It's because I love you more than their parents do.
Yep. Well, so-and-so doesn't have to. And I'm like, yeah, that's because I love you more than their mom does. That's why. They clearly don't care enough about their children.
I almost said that in front of the kid. Of the other parents. Oh, shit. Because she wanted to go riding without a bike helmet on. I was like, no helmet, no bike.
Yeah.
Like, I let you putter around on your skateboard without a helmet on because it's not like you're like far up or going fast.
Or a car, like a bike, yeah.
But the bike you need to. And none of her friends were wearing them. And I was like, it's against the law for you to not wear a helmet until you're 16. And I don't feel like paying a ticket for you. Like, but I almost said I guess seems like I love you, whatever. And the kid was there. Don't do that.
Oh, shoot.
Anyway, that is all.
Yeah, kids. Kids these days. Some people's kids.
Right?
Yep. So, forever helicopter, we all will be.
Yep.
I recommend it. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yep. All right. So what do you say we cut the chit chat and kick things off with Robin's recap?
Previously on Downworlder Dish.
Clary, Luke, and Jace drive down to meet Magnus at the first stop in their plan to foil V-Tang. While waiting for Magnus, Luke gives the Morgenstern siblings the 411 on Imogen and the backstory of her son Steven, shedding light on why she's such a bee with an itch. Magnus magics Luke's truck into an amphibious vehicle, and while the adults are away, Jace gets Clary to draw the Fearless rune on him. At the Institute, Alec and Izzy go from eavesdropping to Kool-Aid Man, bursting in just in time to see holographic V-Tang, who of course says no dice to the Jace for the Mortal Instruments detail. The Inquisitor is shell-shocked that he's such a horrible parent, but we weren't surprised. Meanwhile, Clary and Co. reach V-Tang's emo cruise and immediately get attacked by demon pterodactyls, literally from hell, who snatch Clary up. Luke and Jace jump in and swim after her. Switching gears for the last time to the Institute, Maris summons her husband and starts laying down the law like a motherfucking boss bitch, telling Imogen to quit pouting because it's time to get down to business to defeat the Huns. V-Tang.
Holy shit, slap my dick. Do we start this chapter off with a bang or what?
Never heard that before.
Clary has been plucked out of the bed of the truck by a flying demon When did those become a thing?
Dude.
Why? I don't like it.
Nightmare
Terrible.
bullets.
Who created these demons again? I forgot. Was it Kristen?
At first, Clary's thrashing about, trying to get loose, but then she becomes Kristen and freezes when she realizes how high she is and how hard she's going to fall if she lets go. And can we just give a slow clap for realism and fantasy? Mm-hmm. Because even if the world is full of flying demons, we can bring a story down to earth with a realistic reaction. Because, oh dear God, I would die. I don't like heights at all. It's not my
I jumped
thing.
out of an airplane once.
Oh, that's insane.
It was. Never do it again.
Perfectly
0 out of
good.
10. Wouldn't recommend.
Perfectly good airplane.
Yep.
No thanks.
Just gotta go.
It hurt my ears really bad.
Yeah, no thanks. So I'm still having heart palpitations at the thought of being that high up when the demon goes into a nosedive, hurling Clary toward the deck of the ship and then slips through an opening in the hull. Jesus Christ, no thank you. Like, I cannot. No thanks. Mm-mm. I know Jason wants to go skydiving for his 40th birthday, and I'm like, have fun. I'm not going with you.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. I don't recommend it.
Okay, just so you know,
Yes.
these are the pterodactyls in Jurassic Park 3. They are like...
Let me see. I know I've seen it 1,000 times. Oh, yeah.
Robin's
okay.
terrified of birds.
Oh, okay.
Can
And
you-
dogs.
animals in general.
He locks the door when
Sushi,
dogs
like,
come out. It's great.
Adriana's less afraid of sushi than I am. For real.
What are you afraid
Why
of?
is she? Why are you afraid of her?
Because this bitch will attack you when you're walking up or down the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
And she never, like, she's hurt me once where she actually bit too hard. But she just, like, jumps and, like, wraps her legs around you when you're trying to walk. And I'm like...
Have you never had a cat?
I almost kicked her in the face, like, down the stairs.
Remember her last cat? Her dad?
Yeah, I had no training.
Mr. Bobo?
Yeah. Anyway, I, like, out of reflex. So when Andrea was a baby, she bit me and I almost dropped her because I felt so bad.
Yep.
She literally just, like, reached in and bit me right here.
Ugh.
And I almost just, out of reaction, just, like, it felt like I don't know, I almost just dropped her.
Mm-hmm.
So when Sushi did that to me, I almost, like, I kicked out. And I missed her. But I'm like, oh, my God, what if I would have kicked her? Like, I can't do that. She doesn't ever hurt me. Like,
Right.
it just, she jumps out and it scares me. And Adriana does not care. Like, the cat's hissing and she's like, she's fine.
Oh, that's great.
And William doesn't care either. It's just me. Tucci.
So cute.
Sorry. I don't like
Okay.
animals. I do. They just scare me.
So the demon pterodactyl slowed down as it carried Clary through the inside of the dark ship and unceremoniously dropped her right next to Maya.
Oh, coincidence.
Naturally, Clary's like, oh my God, Maya, you're alive. Did Valentine figure out that you're really 36 and he can't use your blood for the spell? Just kidding. Maya seems okay, even if she is pretty jacked up. But when Clary asks about Simon, Mayan?
What?
But when Clary asks about Simon, Maya has to be the one to tell her that she's too late. Simon is already dead.
That's terrible.
We had to wait 2 chapters to get that. And I'm
Okay, I mean, I knew that. I just mean it's terrible that Maya had to be the one to tell her.
Jason Luke.
Told you.
Right. So meanwhile, Jason Luke pour themselves onto the deck of the ship and slodge around in soaked clothes trying to find the entrance to the hole. Ugh. Luke wonders if Valentine would hurt Clary to get back at Jace, but Jace thinks it's a tactical move to get them on the ship and use her as leverage against them, which is like, well, okay, so we did exactly what he wanted us to do.
Working.
And you're not going to mention this, Jace, like before? So it seems everything seems quiet until they spot the opening in the deck leading into the ship and the cloud of demons pouring out of it. And like, no thanks.
Yeah.
I can do without.
Yep. Gotta go.
I'd like to pass on the demons, please. Thanks.
Let's close door number 1 and go for door number 2. By the time they realize they're By the time they realize they're more than a little outnumbered, the horde of demons have flanked them on both sides, and they're super fucked. So Luke tells Jace to jump ship while he holds back the demons, but Jace is like, I know you are, but what am I? Mid-wolf out, Luke flawlessly switches on dad mode and is all, you used the fearless rune after I explicitly told you not to. And Jace is like, nuh-uh, Clary did. And Luke, in a beautiful moment of parental frustration, snarls, teenagers, like it's a curse. And I'm like, dude, I feel you.
Yeah, but how does he have time for that? Like, come on, bro. You're fighting demons here. Whatever.
Luke always has time to parent.
Okay. Yep. It's a little sexy, I guess.
Dad up.
I know. Like, I want just, like, a whole side series about, like, Luke just being a single dad.
But, like, him just doing stuff like, and then he mowed the lawn.
And he did the dishes.
He took the trash out without being asked.
He pulled the chicken out of the freezer in time.
He changed my oil.
Oh, that's great.
Good times, man. Good
That's
times.
what you have to look forward to. This is what your life is going to become.
Yeah, this is what it's like being married and a 30-something with kids.
Yep.
The sexiest thing a man can do is buy brakes for your car and fix them without telling you that you need it, like, without you having to say anything. Okay. So, back in the ship, Clary is in denial. There's no way that Simon could be dead. She would know it in her heart. And I mean, I kind of feel bad because, like, I kind of feel like your best friend, like, you'd want to feel like you would know if something horrible happened to them. But, like, the truth is you wouldn't.
Parabatai, right?
Yeah, parabatai, right. But they're not. They're just besties. Maya explains how Valentine came into the room where she and Simon were chained and incapacitated her with powdered silver and then slit Simon's throat. When he was finished collecting the blood... When he was finished collecting Simon's blood, he left and a demon came and took Maya and dropped her into, like, this pit. Still, yes.
It just seems weird to not kill them both at the same time.
It's very
Right?
weird.
Whatever.
But I guess like part of it is that you have to quench it in the blood. So like you have to do like one and then do the next one. Like there's a whole process
Like,
after
it
they
needs
get the
to be
blood.
Like fresh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
That's terrible.
So still reeling and unable to process the thought of Simon being dead, Clary turns to the task at hand, getting the hell out of Dodge.
Sames.
And so like there's a moment where she like presses on her mouth and like until she basically tastes blood in her mouth. And this happens a lot in these books. And I'm like, do Shadowhunters have like tissue paper skin?
Yeah.
Like they're constantly bleeding. I'm like, it can't be that bad all the time. Like you can't just be bleeding all the time.
I don't bleed very often.
I don't know.
I'm so strong.
I was thinking leathered. Not you, but like me.
I'm so old.
You got those calluses.
So Maya tries to tell her that there's no way out of the pit that they're stuck in, even for a shadow. Hunter. Even for a shadow hunter. I mean, Clary's no Jace. But Clary's a strong, independent woman, and she doesn't need her brother lover. Nope, she's a powerful bitch. So, okay, I love the girl power moment, but I have to mention this line that I just can't get out of my head. It drives me nuts. And I'm sorry. I feel like I just pick apart this whole fucking series. But so she, Clary, dug into her pocket and pulled out her Stele.
Doug.
Okay, aren't Steles like as long as a fucking ruler? Like, the last time I checked, women's pants pockets are like 3 inches deep, especially during the classic 2007 low-rise phase.
Yep.
Does it magically collapse like a lightsaber serif blade?
She has like a mini version, like a pocket version.
Okay.
Right.
A few moments later, she says that it's like gouging into her stomach.
I cover it.
Oh, I didn't scroll down enough. Anyway.
But then how does she need to like fish it out? Like, come on.
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
Whatever.
Boo. Sorry.
So anyways, Clary is full of feminine rage, not only for the patriarchy, but also for the actual patriarch of her family. And sets Stele to steal, working her rune magic. Maya's like, bish, what the fuck? As the wall melts away, and the next exchange is too good not to quote. Wait, Clary said, suddenly nervous. The melted metal, it could be like toxic sludge or something. Maya snorted. I'm from New Jersey. I was born in toxic sludge. Like, obviously, we're West Coasters. I really don't know why that's a thing, other than people rag on Jersey, but I just thought it was really funny.
It was funny.
So Maya's a ride or die bitch, so she goes first, and with a little help from Clary, falls onto the catwalk below, twisting her ankle. But hey, it's all good, because person wolves heal fast.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could heal, like, too fast that your bone gets set wrong.
Ew.
And then you have to re-break it again.
Oh, that's a really good point. When I broke my
That would
hand, I
make
had
sense.
to sit in the ER with it. Like, I had to get it set. But it sat for 4 hours. So it was really painful when they did it. That's a really good point.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
So Clary's like, cool, now me. And magically, her Stele, that was so tiny she had to dig for it in her minuscule pocket, is now stabbing her in the stomach as she tries to wiggle through the hole. Inconsistencies drive me crazy. Before she can escape, she's pulled up by the back of her shirt, and it's Valentine, just in time to foil her plans.
What is it with this guy? Do you think there's security cameras in there? And he's like, I'm going to stay right outside the door and wait.
He's got a baby monitor. But like they're in this pit. There's no doors, right? It's like a sunk in what she said was like a stored, what probably was used for storage in the hull. It's like all walls, no doors, and it's just an open from the top. So like, did one of his pterodactyls like swoop in and drop him down? And then he just like, boom, like Superman into the crouch with the, right?
Yeah, because he has a mirror, like he's looking around the corner.
Like a dental mirror, so it sticks around.
Yeah. He's just laying on the floor, his head's poked out, he's looking down at him.
What you doing?
Oh, shitters.
So Daddy-O is pissed, and even V-Tang isn't immune to the classic parental fallback, calling Clary her mother's daughter. Admit it, ladies, we all do it.
Yep.
Do you do that? Look at your kid and you're like, I can't believe you did that. You're so your father's daughter or whatever.
I always am like, you're totally my kid. That's what I do.
Both ways.
Yeah.
When Bryn falls, that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
that's me. That's where it is.
My kid starts cleaning. I'm like, yep, that's mine.
Okay, so V-Tang demands to know where Maya is, and Clary channels G.I. Jane, spitting blood on his boots in response, and it's such a good moment. It's chef's kiss. I love it. So Clary spots her Stele on the floor and reaches for it, but Valentine is too quick, kicking it through the melted hole in the wall. Before Clary can get her bearings, V-Tang grabs her up in a bear hug and whistles for one of his minions, and suddenly they're airborne.
What was the point? What? Tell me why. I don't get it. Drop her off and then pick her back up just so she can like see that Maya's still alive. Like, oh, you still have a chance.
And help Maya escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. All right. Well, we go back to Jace and Luke, and Jace ended up with a pretty gnarly cut on his arm, but didn't have time to use a healing rune. So they found a hiding place to hide from the demons in the wall of the ship. And assessing the situation, Jace realized 1, he was running low on weapons, and 2, his lack of fear might not be a good thing.
You think?
Yeah. He was losing a lot of blood from his arm and didn't seem to care. So, Luke was all person wolfed out, okay? And Jace thought to himself that he was almost unrecognizable. So, bitches, tell me. Riddle me this. How would he be recognizable if he didn't kind of look like himself as a wolf?
Well, he's not all wolf.
Oh, come
at this
on.
point.
All these excuses.
He's not. He's got like as it described, he's got like the canine teeth and his paws are claws and his ears are pointed, but I don't think he's all the way a wolf.
All right. Fine. Robin's silent. You have nothing to say.
I imagined him wolfed up.
Yeah.
But I also don't know. This wasn't my part, so I wasn't
Right.
reading it as
closely.
I really, really enjoy the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it
So you get
almost
caught up in it.
exactly.
Oh, especially this part where it's like a fight scene. Yeah. Yeah, this was hard to write because I'm basically just in a fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
So these two were obviously all of a sudden just hit by this Oni demon. Oh, okay.
Either one.
Yeah.
I would accept.
It made Jace drop his Stele, and it went off the edge of the boat. And by the way, I feel like this is actually a ship. They keep calling it a boat. The book is calling it a boat. But it sounds really large.
It's a ship. It's definitely a ship.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's called a boat, the entire thing. And I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. Okay. The SS Valentine, as you called
V-Tang.
it. That was freaking awesome.
SSB Tang.
Love it. All right. Well, the demon is on Luke, and he tries to reach for his Kinjal. But the demon stopped him, breaking his freaking leg, dude. I think it actually broke his knee, but then they say his leg. I don't know. Anyway.
That's even worse.
Yeah, exactly. So Jace was able to get to the Kinjal and was able to decapitate the demon with it. It's just crazy. He's like, just fling it right over there and take its freaking head off. So Luke told Jace that his leg was broken. And Jace is like, yeah, but no big deal, bro. You heal fast. And Luke is like, not fast enough. It's not like immediate, bro.
Right.
Come on. So they were suddenly surrounded again by demons. And this time it was a 6-foot skeleton, which just reminds me for some reason of that song that's like, dem bones, dem bones.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like, he's just this big, like, do. Anyway, Jace flung his last weapon at the demon, but it went unnoticed because he's a freaking skeleton. And all of a sudden, someone appeared. And Jace couldn't see who it was, but the person was fighting the demon for him. And this person killed the skeleton, and Jace realized it was Malik?
I think it's Malik.
Okay. And he had backup. The Shadowhunters, as far as the eye could see, they were climbing aboard. I don't think that's exactly true. But
You just Robin did a little bit.
how
It's
I
fine.
felt. So another demon made its way toward them, and Malik was taking care of business. Jace was grabbed by the arm by another Shadowhunter, telling him to follow them. And Jace insisted on going back and helping Luke, which is awesome. But the Inquisitor showed her face, and Jace told Jace to do what you're told. Yeah, she's like, can't you ever just do what I tell you to do? And he's like, bitch, what? Look at all your mistakes, okay?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I thought we agreed. You're not allowed to make decisions anymore. Because you have poor decision-making skills.
You suck.
I think I would have gone with her just to be like, bam, proving her wrong. All right, so we go back to Clary's point of view, and she's trying to break free, but she wasn't able to, and eventually the demons set her and Valentine down, and Valentine actually let her go, and she took in her surroundings, and I was having a hard time understanding exactly where they are, but I think the sword was there. Anyway, eventually she asks him how he could kill Simon because, you know, he was just an ordinary boy. And V-Tang points out that he wasn't human. He had become a monster, and Clary didn't realize it because he wore the face of her friend. And then he tells her a little story about him feeling the same way when Luke was bitten. And Clary's like, yeah, he told me. Duh. You gave him a dagger to kill himself. Some friend you are. And I'm just going to read this real quick. That was a mistake, said Valentine. At least you admit it. I should have killed him myself. It would have showed that I cared. I have to point out that the book actually says showed, not shown. And I don't know how correct that is, but I don't like it. And either does Google.
Well,
Yeah.
showed is past tense.
I think you'd say shown. It would have
Shown.
shown that I cared.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
an odd thing that, again, didn't get caught, which whatever, but still.
I don't like it.
Anyway, yeah. So he's icky. I don't like him either, Valentine.
I don't like
Clearly.
you or your face
Or your words.
voice.
Your vocabulary needs to stop, okay?
Well, and Clary, like, at least you admit it. Like, you know better than to just interrupt
you're
him.
feeding into
wait,
it.
Wait for him to finish because you know it's gonna be something worse.
Terrible. You haven't spent enough time with this guy, I guess. So Clary goes on to tell him that he didn't care. He's never cared about anyone. And they go back and forth, and Valentine tells her that love is like ownership. And Clary explains... just icky, right? It's not just that someone belongs to you. It's that you give yourself to them. And I think that's kind of beautiful. And Valentine catches on and is like, as you've given yourself to Jonathan?
No!
Question mark, shrugging emoji?
Oh, God!
So Clary tries to play it cool.
No, we need to talk about this.
Okay.
Like, awkward. That was great.
Awkward. Super
There's
awkward,
no trying
dude.
to speed through this.
I know, that's what I do.
Like, we know how bad of a parent Valentine is, but at least he's calling it out, whereas Luke, our good parent, is just like, your brother. You two share DNA. Like, he's just like dropping subtle hints.
Oh my god. I couldn't even catch my breath. That was great. Oh man, yeah. So funny.
I couldn't imagine, like, they're just like, oh, awkward. Sorry. Gotta go. Bye.
She just like freezes. Like she doesn't move. You can't see me. Oh, shitter.
She's
Great.
like, not Jonathan, Jace.
Dude, for real. I don't know who this Jonathan guy is that you're talking about.
I know it is Jace-tifer.
Jace defer. This bitch adds defer to everyone's name. Or is it she calls Sean Jonathan?
She's like, your kids are Clarissa and Jonathan. We're Clary and Jace.
Yeah,
totally different people.
Yeah. We're
know what's
not
wrong with
related. Oh, all right. Well, Clary tries to play it cool and is like, what? And Valentine tells her that he sees the way that they look at each other and that it's his and Jocelyn's fault for keeping them away from each other while they were growing up because they didn't have that chance to form that icky brother-sister bond. Yeah, he's like, I guess it's kind of our fault. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Valentine admitting fault for once.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's weird too. It's almost like, okay, obviously you guys understand this. Like when they're divorced. Like it's weird to hear them as a couple. Like it's our fault. It was always weird for me, like when my dad would talk about being with, when my parents were together and stuff, because they got divorced when I was so young.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it feels weird to hear their names together like that.
Dude, my parents got back together and dated when I was 25.
No, they didn't.
Yes. And then we went on a family trip to Disney World, and it was the most horrifying experience of my life. I did not like it at all.
Okay,
sorry.
But listen,
Yes.
I am not confused. Okay, there's got to be two sides to Valentine that are fighting with each other. Like the one side that wants to have something to manipulate Clary with and hang over his head. Her head, sorry.
Yeah.
And then I think the other part of him is such a perfectionist that he's got to not be cool with it.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're
that's
not
a sin.
cool with...
But I also think he's so egotistical that I think he thinks that he really can manipulate them in such a way to have it all. So he can get Jocelyn back and have his two kids and just manipulate them in a way so they can...
form the icky brother-sister bond. Or he's like a tutor and he wants them strengthen the bloodline.
Right.
God. Ew. He's shipping them. It's reverse psychology. I don't like it.
It's gross. All right, well, Valentine proves it to Clary by telling her about Jace's interaction with Agramon, and that Jace's greatest fear is the love he feels for his sister.
But
That's not true.
it's not. It's not.
Right.
He's totally manipulative. But like the way, like I'm like, fuck, you gotta twist everything. Like you don't have an honest bone in your body.
Yeah, well, and that's got to be sad for her.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's like, oh God.
Yeah.
But I mean, Clary, don't be a dumbass and believe him. Like, has he ever said anything that is the truth? No.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
He's never once said
anything. She shouldn't
anything.
believe him at all, but you know, like, there's a part of you that's like, oh, fuck. Is that real?
Yeah.
With the words of affirmation, just the wrong kind.
Right. Like, she was expecting to hear it, and then she heard it, and now it's true.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard it, and I came out. Deep cook.
So Jace is defiant, and for good reason. The Inquisitor hasn't been his greatest ally, and he doesn't want to leave the battle behind. However, Imogen is nothing but persistent and finally pulls him away by the arm. She pushes/drags him to a recess of a wall and takes out 2 seraph blades. She whispers their names to activate them, and she starts laying down some other language that Jace hasn't heard, so we don't get to know what she said. And I'm glad I don't have to pronounce it. She sticks the blades into the ship deck and is looking, this is looking suspiciously familiar.
That's what I was going to say. Don't trust this bitch. Look what happened last time.
So Jace point blank asks her if she's going to imprison him again. And she's like, nah, this isn't a Malachi configuration. You'll be free to leave if you want to. But the swords create a wall of white light separating himself from vision of the battle beyond. He can still hear the sounds of war, screaming, howling demons. You know, the usual. He just can't see anything. Jace asks, what are you doing here? And she very honestly and quickly points out that he was right. V-Ting wouldn't make the trade. And Jace answers her by saying, he told you to let me die. And then suddenly feels suddenly lightheaded. So I think he always knew deep down that V-Ting wouldn't care. He seemed adamant enough when he was telling the Inquisitor and when he was like relaying the whole plan to Jace. But I'm sure there's like this little sliver of hope, this tiny one that wanted himself to be wrong. So sad for Jace again. Sucks to be you, Jace. I said that very sad for Jace. I don't know. Then she lies to save face, and I'm not judging, just merely making an observation. Because she tells him that she immediately called the conclave together and brought them out to V-Ting's water palace to seek justice. And that she owes him and his family an apology. And Jace learns that they are on the boat with everybody and they're not going to be punished.
Okay, so yeah, like she's manipulating the truth by being like, but then she follows it up with like, I owe you and your family an apology, which seems really honorable. And you're kind of like, where are you on this scale of fucked upness?
Good, chaotic. Where are you?
Yeah. Well, this feels a little Maya-y too. Like, God, why do you need to apologize right now? Seriously, can't this wait?
It's not the point.
Yeah.
Which Jace is like, I don't like apologies. Me either.
Yeah, it's awkward.
I mean,
I don't know
on
what
who
to say.
It comes from or what it's for, but
I'd rather just not talk to you ever again. I don't want an apology.
Yeah,
it's just awkward.
Move on. Imogen's still reeling. Yeah.
Sorry.
I cut you off.
No, that was me. I'm sorry.
Imogen's still reeling, and she can't wrap her head around V-Ting not caring about Jace's life, his only son. And Jace is just over it. She's like, God, I wish this bitch would shut the fuck up or for a demon to attack us. And honestly, I feel like I felt that before dealing with customers. I just wish a demon would attack and break this up. I don't want to deal with this anymore. That would be better. Pterodactyl demons would be better than this lady right now.
Or when you're in like an awkward situation and you don't, like, there's no way out of this.
Yeah.
And you're just like, can the ground swallow me up right now? Because I'm just over it.
This is why
the rapture would be real convenient right now.
We all just need to be Magnus. He is so old he doesn't care. Like, I don't like any of you and I hope I never have to see you again. Bye.
Bye, bitches.
Yeah. Like, he gets to be the Betty White, but like in a younger person's body. Like, zero fucks.
I read this meme the other day. You guys maybe have seen it. It's like one thing that I want to take with me from quarantine lifestyle, basically, is like being okay to ask people to mute themselves. Can you just mute yourself, okay? Gotta go.
That's awesome.
I want to do that to someone in person.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's having this conversation, whatever, until she stops in her tracks and starts to quote the Lorax by saying, unless. And then jabs a pointy, bony, I'm assuming, finger at Jace's exposed shoulder, asking, when did you get that? And Jace, always a smart ass, even in the middle of a battle, tells her that he got his shirt at Macy's winter sale. And she's like, nah, bitch, the scar on your shoulder, the one right there. And Jace is like, oh, this whole thing? My father told me it was from an accident, something that happened when I was too young to remember. Why? And the Inquisitor gets all worked up, telling him that it can't be, and all those years. She asks him again, did you, like, truly believe that you were Michael Whalen's son? And Jace just can't anymore, and he explodes. He's like, seriously? For real right now? You dragged me away from battle so you can sit here and re-interrogate me? Bitch, I told you the first time. I shouldn't be back here spirited away with you. I need to be out there fighting. Why are you doing this? Another ruse? That way you can tell the Clave I refused to fight with you. Ha! Nice try. What was it? Hardy har har.
Hardy har har.
Nice try. And for some reason, she tries to address him as Jonathan again.
Ugh.
Like, stop, lady. He's not having it. He's over it. Kicks one of the Seraph blades out. The wall's vanished. And then he's like... Dramatic pause. He's able to take in the absolute shit show that is unfolding beyond.
For real.
And he's just searching around looking for Alec or Izzy. And Imogen's finally kind of coming to her senses. And she's like, Jace! Instead of Jonathan. Anyway. Yelling at him that he at least needs a weapon. Like, take... And then she gets cut off because... When you wish upon a star, of all times for wishes to be granted, this big-ass unknown demon is like, surprise, motherfuckers! And it starts hissing and lashes its scorpion tail at Jace. And then, out of nowhere, he sees this shadow hunter pass between him and death. The only act of redemption we get to see. Imogen jumps in front of Jace and gets struck right in the chest. Somehow... She's able to retain her footing. Like, she just got, like, body slammed by a fucking scorpion. But she's like, nah.
Got it. She's got a wide stance. Yep.
My typo.
And she throws her Kristen.
Dude, you've spelled Imogen like 6 different ways.
It's just Google. Okay. And then throws her knife through the demon's throat. Kill shot. Causing it to vanish.
No, I like it better. She threw a whole knight. An entire knight, full armor.
With a K.
At the demon.
If you will.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. She falls to the deck, and Jace kneels down beside her, thinking that she's already dead. He's wrong. Although close to the right answer, because with her last bit of strength, she beckons him to come closer and whispers something in his ear, and then she dies.
I don't like that we don't get to know what she said.
I know.
But we know. This is her thing. Jace says, what does that mean? But as the Pirates of the Caribbean taught us, dead men tell no tales.
Jesus Christ.
And Jace is in slight shock when he's pulled by the back of his shirt, not unlike what just happened to Clary.
Yeah.
And he tries to defend himself, but realizes he doesn't have any weapons. But not to fear, it's Alec, who is exhausted with his hair plastered to his face, clothes and skin streaked with blood. And Jace is like, Parapata, good to see you. Please give me a weapon so I don't die. Okay, thanks. And getting absolutely no reprieve, a demon instantly starts scuttling towards them. Scuttle is not the word I use. That is her word.
I don't like it.
I don't. But Alec is quick to dispatch it. And then Alec notices the Inquisitor's body and asks what happened. Jace is like, she's gone. And Alec deadass goes, good riddance. How'd she get it?
How'd she get
Okay, look. Alec.
I like in the last chapter, I'm like, oh, he has a little bit of empathy. So sweet. And
Yeah.
he's like, bye, bitch.
You did.
How'd she get it?
Oh, he's channeling his inner Amanda Simon relationship.
I feel like Alec is so much sassier than we get to see because he just doesn't say a lot of the stuff out loud. Like, if we were in Alec's head more often, I think we would get a salty bitch.
Yes.
Love it.
Before Jace can answer, Isabel's like, my brothers, and starts running to them. She tries to hug Jace, but he's like, no, don't. I'm covered in blood.
Don't want to stain your clothes.
And I don't get this. I've tried to read it a few times. I know that it's a bullshit excuse. Like, you're covered in blood. She's covered in blood. You're a shadow hunter. You are routinely bathed in blood. Explain this to me. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like, I don't know why he wouldn't just hug her. I really don't.
No.
I don't like that.
And, like, it could have been done in a better way. Like, if he didn't want to hug her because he was feeling, like, some kind of way or whatever about what happened with Imogen, like, it could have been presented in a way where, like, it alluded to that without you. I mean, you don't have to say it, but you can allude to those feelings and make this more understandable. But, like, the way that
it seems pointless
doesn't,
to bring it up, giving that excuse.
right?
Yeah,
Exactly. Without
weird.
anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could say he was withdrawn or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before much more dialogue can get out, a spider demon comes out of freaking nowhere.
Nope.
And blasts Isabel with venom. She's able to cut it in half with her whip, but she still got shot in the throat.
There you go. The whip is back.
Is that how you say it?
The whip is back. Back again.
Yes.
In the throat? On the throat? Around? Near the throat?
In and around.
She got shot in the throat by poison, which, by the way, try to say that without sounding like Belle Biv DeVoe. Poison. Poison.
To the best.
Poison.
Okay, tell me. Did you know that's who sang that?
Yes.
Okay.
I did
I would've
Google
had
how
to
to
Google
spell
it.
it.
Okay.
I would have
But I knew.
Googled it.
Yeah.
I know
didn't
who sang
that.
it, but I didn't know how to spell it. Poison. Anyway,
Dun, 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 dun.
Alec tells Jace to hand her over because Jace catches her
But he didn't want to hug her.
because he had blood. It doesn't. I'm
He just
not-
left.
Not our fault.
That would be
I'm dirty.
That would be the best if he just, like, put his hands up. Like, not it. It just lets her fall to the ground.
But he actually sidesteps. Just to physically move out of the way.
Like, oh shit, almost touched her.
Miss me. Now you gotta. Jesus. Anyways, now that we know, because I didn't put that in there. Anyway, Jace catches Isabel, and Alec tells him to hand her over, and Jace sets her down on the deck. Alec tells Jace to cover them while he tends to her wounds, and Jace says that they have to get Isabel off the boat or she's gonna die. And Alec's like, yeah, she will, and you and me both, and every other shadow hunter on this mother ucka. I'm glad the Inquisitor is dead. This is all her fault. And Jace tells him what happened with the scorpion demon, and Alec is as stunned as he is about the whole, as stunned as we are, everybody, he, Jace, the whole world, about the whole thing. Then he points out that there are 2 more demons coming to get Jace, a Dravok demon, and your boy, the return of the Mac, a Jake. Jace makes quick work of the 2, cutting off Jake's tail and using the poison sack to get the Dravok demon. Bogo, bitch! And Alec is on board with Jace's strategy and tells him that it's time to get Izzy out of there. Jace is like, okay, cool beans. Sounds like a plan. I'll stay here and defend against whatever this giant thing coming for us is, and you get her to safety. And Alec is like, what is that thing? Jace says, big.
That would be me. That would 100% be me. I'd be like, I don't have words. Big.
Be more constructive with your feedback.
Yep.
Love it.
Jace looks back at them, realizing that them meaning, Jace looks back at Alec and Isabel, realizing that it might very well be the last time he sees them. And he wants to say something sweet and memorable, but the words won't get out. So he sends Alec away, who does get Isabel over the ladder to safety, but then turns right back around to fight next to his #Parabatai life.
Okay, who is safety? Is it Magnus?
I think it's just a boat bitch. I don't know why I had to say
Well,
bitch.
because
Like a
Robert
shadow
said
hunter.
Robert said that they had boats.
Okay.
Ready.
Okay, good
So I
point.
bet they're all just like...
take her back. Okay.
They're like hooked up to the side.
Infirmary.
Cool. They have like a tent set up.
Right. A field hospital.
Yep.
The demon, for whatever reason, abandons his attack on Jason, goes right for Alec, striking him with a feeding tube. Okay.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Here's my sidebar. I really appreciate that most of the demons are too weird and misshapen for my mind to actually get a good mental picture. I mean, a Ravener demon ended up looking like Jake. And
Right.
the pterodactyls are a little frightening. But, like, this one just got me. Like, this whole chapter, like, I don't want a feeding tube.
No.
Because it's like a mosquito head.
Okay. I'm getting hot. I don't like it.
It's ew.
Oh, because I could just... Ew.
So Jace tries to go for help, but Jake's poison has rotted the deck, and his legs get caught. I keep picturing that video of Andy falling through the word.
Oh my god, that's right. I forgot that happened. His legs just appeared.
Hanging down. That's all I can think of. Anyway, Jace raises his blade, and it flashes bright white. And he thinks that maybe it's going to let Alec go, but no. He ends up throwing Alec with so much force that he slams him onto the deck, and he skids out to the sea river. And Jace throws his blade at the demon, and then the deck gives way, and he falls down into darkness.
Shit.
Dude. Finally, good fight scenes. It's the end of the chapter.
Right?
It's done.
Oh my god.
We only have one more left.
So crazy.
Dude.
Can't even believe it.
Can you believe that this fucking book is almost over?
No. Not ready.
It's so crazy. So I have a question,
Yes.
Amanda.
Okay.
We're towards the end of this book. We are almost done. Has your favorite characters or your feelings about characters changed? Who are you loving at the moment?
I mean, my all-time favorite is still Luke.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there anyone that you were surprised by that you like more now than you did before?
Probably Maris. Yeah.
Okay.
I just finally, like, she called Jake her son again, and like,
Who?
She adopted a raptor demon.
Jakey,
Jakey, come here.
She's really turned over a new leaf.
He's just... Did you pee?
She's gonna sing him French songs.
Sing me like one of your French girls.
Yeah. Oh shit. Well, yeah. So I can really. I mean, it's sad what she did to Jace, but I can see where she was coming from. So her realizing. I mean, it's kind of fucked up. Like, oh, he's fine, or everything's fine, and he was right. Imogen was wrong. Okay, now I love him again. But I can appreciate where she's coming from, and hopefully everything goes
Trying
well.
to play both sides.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, still Luke. I love the dad thing. They had to have something like that. I just really hate that we don't hear much about, which obviously it's a few hours that we're talking about with all this stuff, but we haven't heard much about Jocelyn in this book. And I just feel bad.
She's not doing anything interesting.
Right. It's just crazy. Just hanging out in there. I hope she wakes up someday.
We'll see. Robin, what about you? Have any of your rereading, has anything in your opinions changed?
I'm still on the boat where I'm appreciating Luke as a character more than I ever did before reading the first time. And then just how, like, I think it's one of those things that's like, oh yeah, Valentine's a bad guy, move on. But like really analyzing his actions and stuff. And things, because that sounds very descriptive. Anyway, analyzing Valentine's motives more and why he's doing things and kind of the root. I don't know. He's so much worse.
Oh, for sure.
Than I pictured him the first time. Not that I didn't think he was bad, but
he was just a bad guy before. But like now, I think part of it is just being older and just having more life experience and just realizing like how real fucked up and evil he is.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, I see what you're doing there, and yuck, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And then I just, for some reason, again, all these books kind of blend together.
I know.
Because I'm pretty sure I read all 3 of them at the same time the first time. And then every time I reread, it was just all 3 of them. Because,
Right.
you know, once you pop, you can't stop.
Right.
So, I'm surprised every time that there's not more Alec and Isabel. And sad. Because I like them. And I'm like, wait, what? Where's... Oh, okay. Maybe that is in the next book. I don't... Okay. And, that's it for me.
Yeah. I think I appreciate Luke more than I did before. Definitely. And just like being able to talk about him and stuff. But like it just makes me love Alec more than I ever did before. Like there's just something so awesome about Alec. I love him so much. He's just such a weird, awkward, fun character. And he makes mistakes and he does stupid shit and you're just like, dude. But he's also fun.
Yeah. I'm having fun. I'm excited to watch the TV show. Eventually. Movie. Whatever.
Movie.
Someday.
You can watch the movie soon, I think.
Yeah, after City of Glass.
Awesome.
But not the TV show.
No. Because and it's not all the same. It would be too confusing. You have to like finish the whole thing before you can.
Not the whole kit and caboodle, but the next 3 books in this first series.
Yeah.
Hold on. So you're telling me I have to read 6, 7 more books so I can watch the TV show?
Yeah.
No, you have to read 4 more books until you can watch the TV show.
But we're going to do...
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Okay.
You
Spoil all my fun.
You wouldn't want to ruin it anyways.
No, I know.
Because it's so poorly done in the TV show.
Awesome.
It'll ruin it.
I really, really like the TV show.
Really?
Yes. But it's because I take the J.J. Abrams approach to it.
I know. I can't do it. I can't.
J.J. Abrams did the TV show?
No.
No.
Oh, I was like, that's crazy.
It's the whole Star Trek thing, which I know you don't care about. But basically, the newer Star Trek ones, it's like a different timeline.
Yeah.
So some of like the rules regarding the universe and stuff don't have to exist appropriately as it did before because it's a different timeline. It's a different whatever. So that's the whole kind of that approach I take on the TV show is same characters, same concept, but it's just a different entity in itself. Okay. I mean, there's a couple things that of course I'm just like, no, why? Like, we'll go more in depth, but they change Luke's profession.
That's weird.
Which it totally 110% makes sense why they did it. I understand.
Because the bookstore doesn't make sense for where he lives?
What? So it's like, I get that. There's a couple other choices that they made with some of the characters that I'm just really TO'd about. But again.
The changes with the characters, I can be like, okay, it's the ridiculous storylines that they added for no reason and changed to not make any sense that I'm just like, it doesn't. It's one thing to like expand a story and change storylines, but it's another thing to like change. You're using the same characters' names and their same backstories, but you're changing who the characters are, and that's what I don't like.
That's fair.
Weird.
Like I bet I would. Best case scenario, if they wanted to do that, would just be different people.
Yeah, like if they would have just like had it be like the Seattle Institute or something, they could have done a million different things and it wouldn't bother me. But my biggest problem is like what they did with Izzy.
I don't like that either.
And I was like, you're not following who she is as a character, which is why I didn't like it.
Okay.
I also hate them being aged up so much.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Yeah, I get it too, but
it's a little hard to be interested in a relationship when they're 15.
Yeah.
When you actually see it.
But to be fair, I did like the movie more than you did, for sure.
Oh my God, no.
That's so funny.
I don't
you guys
like,
are so opposite.
I don't like the last half of the movie
All of
pretty
it
much,
is
but the
awful.
beginning of the movie is like, I love it.
Awful.
But I also, Jamie Campbell Bower will forever and always be my Jace, and I know she hates him so much. And I get it. He doesn't actually look like Jace, but for some reason, it just makes my heart happy.
So much no.
Oh, God.
I know. I know.
Why?
Okay,
I can't help it.
for real. Have you ever watched Outlander? Do you
Yeah.
ever get into
Yeah.
it? Okay. He is Jace. Obviously aged up.
Ew.
100%.
No.
The hair.
No.
The build. Everything.
No.
But obviously like Jace when he's 30. Not now.
Gross.
I'm not into this guy at all.
No, dude.
I know. He's not.
Looks ill.
I do really kind of like the like strung out look. I don't know why.
Oh, no, thank you, Brosephine.
No, when I read the book, I do not envision him, but I like him better than I like
He's
Dom. Not because
so
Dom doesn't look
thin.
good. He's just a better actor than Dom is. I know. I don't care.
Who is Dom?
I
Gotta
listened to
Google
his
this.
music too,
Dominic
by the
Sherwood.
way.
Sure, what?
Huh?
I listened to his music too, by the way.
He
has music?
He has a band. It's called Counterfeit. It's really good.
Right? Make sure that you've read chapter 19, Di's Day of Wrath. And the epilogue for next week's episode.
For behind the scenes content and the latest updates, check us out on Instagram at Downworlder Podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.